assembly, which is the whole door, versus the door skin or outer panel, which is just this part right here. Okay, because this part's replaceable. But if you got it, some cars don't have this available. They'll have a whole door assembly. Okay, so on a door skin, you can see it's folded in right here. They just cut it off. That whole skin comes off of there.
Ironically, that is a brand new one.
Yeah. Is this a side?
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a door skin. Okay. Roof rail. Oh, she does. Roof rail. This is the roof rail.
Now that's a separate piece or that a whole piece?
That's a whole separate piece.
So
Okay.
that's a separate piece. What it is you've got your roof, but
Yes.
this is a separate piece. And you feel free to
So
jump
it
up there and look.
attaches to it.
So it's basically the whole side of the car, ironically. If you actually were to look at it, it's the whole piece. It's a uniside.
Okay.
But this right here is separated out in hell as just a roof rail.
Yeah.
So it comes.
So it goes from there all the way back here.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. That's the roof rail. Of
So
course,
if this is all dent, they can repair it, or they
Oh, yeah.
would they replace
Yeah,
it?
they-
no,
replace
they'll
it.
never replace a roof rail.
Oh,
Nope.
okay.
They'll always either PDR a roof rail or conventionally repair it. They're never going to cut it out and replace it.
Oh,
So two parts on a car that they won't ever replace. We'll get to that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But with hell anyway.
So you got your bedside, obviously, or on a car, it would be your quarter panel. Okay, on the back here. Okay, and then you got your deck lid or your truck bed. Okay.
Deck lid. Oh, this would be
Well, it's gonna be this back here, the tailgate.
oh,
on a truck.
Okay, okay, on the truck.
Yeah.
And they can replace that,
They can replace that.
but they won't.
No, they can replace
They
that.
can't.
Yeah.
So the two parts that they can't replace is going to be your roof rail there, which is part of the uniside, and the quarter panel he just showed you.
Like on this car. So this roof rail is made for the whole side of the car. So they're not going to cut it out of the car to put another one in. They're always going to. You guys have all seen a car driving down the road that's got the Bondo in it that's been sanded. That's what they're going to do. If this is hit bad enough to where they cannot PDR it with paintless dent repair, they're going to conventionally repair it. Okay?
Okay.
So they'll put the Bondo on there and paint it. Same with this. They're never going to cut out, laser out a whole section of the car. You're changing the structural integrity at that point. They're always going to Bondo it, fill in the dents, and then repaint it. That's how they're going to do that. All right. So everybody got the roof rails terminology? Okay.
Yeah.
So here's another
One
one.
more thing, like
Yeah.
what about when they put like the suction thing and
And
we'll
that's
pull it out?
We'll show you on that here in a little
Okay.
bit,
Yeah.
which is not a real thing. Anybody that tells you it is, yeah, that's a TikTok myth. Yeah.
kind
So,
of like the dry ice and stuff
yeah,
like that.
we'll show you how the real guys fix cars. So, does anybody know what this is?
Trim.
Belt molding.
Oh,
Okay. This up here would be an upper molding, just like on Josh's truck.
Yeah. And the way you always remember it, obviously, the lower part is your belt. So I mean, it's going to be a belt molding. It's always going to be called a belt molding. Now the upper part has like 7 different names depending on the manufacturer, and that's going to be a really hard part for y'all to once you start doing this. Man, you know the part, you know it needs to be replaced, but it's called different on a Chrysler. It's different on a Ford. It's different on a Chevy. So you got to
Might be
really
a drip rail, might be a lip molding, might be an upper molding.
Yeah,
might be a scalp molding.
Yeah, there's tons of terminology, and that's where this really comes in.
No
And you-
universal name for it?
No.
No,
That's
and when you
odd.
get into roof rails, they might be called aperture panels, they might be called unisides, they might be called.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
So this is a applique. These little black panels here. Some of them are actually a plastic panel. Some of it's just black tape over the door. Yeah.
Wow.
Like this right here.
But they charge us $500 to replace.
You're lucky if you get it for that cheap these days.
Oh, really?
Package right there.
Yeah. All right, so
Wow.
let's go back in now that we know our